All right, so I kind of want to talk about something that a friend asked me recently, which is why should you even spend time on relationships when you should just put all that effort into grinding, work, and just, becoming the best, like, business person that you can? Like, why don't you just go all in on your work, your purpose, and just screw relationships because it's just a waste of time? And I kind of had that belief for the longest time, but recently it's definitely changed. And one core reason is because of the Mexican fisherman story, which basically there's this like Mexican fisherman who all he does is go out, fish enough to have food for his family, and then spend the rest of his day with his family, and that's it. And so when like an American businessman approaches him and goes, "Hey, you could be making much more. You could be fishing like, just the extra few hours, take that extra fish, sell it, make more money, buy a fishing boat so you can fish more fish throughout the day, and then you can eventually buy your own company, get it on the stock exchange, become a billionaire, and then achieve your financial dreams and be financially free." And the fisherman's response was, "Okay, but what do I do after that?" And the businessman was almost like a bit shocked, and he was like, "Well, once you're financially free, you can do what you want. So you can fish a few fish, enough food for your family, and spend the rest of your days with your family." And so it's quite an interesting story because, like, sometimes we just chase the thing that we're wanting for, not knowing that the thing that we eventually want is already there. And so, for example, for us, like, for me, like a lot of people, and a lot of people as well, are like the Mexican fisherman. We already are doing the things we would do if money wasn't a constraint, but we think money is a constraint. And so we go on this pursuit of, working like endless grind, making as much money as possible, only to realize that the thing we wanted in the first place we already had. Now, this isn't to say, making money is bad. We still want to work hard, achieve your purpose and all of that. But it's also worth considering, what are you sacrificing that for? And so going back to the question about should you, date now or should you just grind? Well, I would argue that, my end goal and a lot of people's end goals is relationships, or it is, whether that's a partner or like friends or whatever it is. But it's oftentimes not work. Like when you're 80 years old on a bed lying down, you're not going to be thinking like, I wish I made an extra, $1 million, or I wish I spent an extra, 2 weeks on this project. You care about the people that you're with. And so if that's the case, then isn't that something we should be prioritizing like right now? So when it comes to like, should we date or should we just, work hard? I always have the belief that you should always have and prioritize your relationships because that is your end goal. Like all this work, you're doing all that for your future relationships. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be for your family or your friends as well. And so it would be almost like foolish to kind of like sacrifice that for like, financial gain, because the purpose of the financial gain is to help your relationships. So if you're sacrificing the thing, like if you're sacrificing the relationships to get the financial gain, which is meant to help you with the relationships, then it's kind of like this logic fail that just, doesn't work out. So that's kind of my thoughts on why it's always important to prioritize relationships, because that's genuinely, what brings you joy. Now, it doesn't mean, in different seasons you want to like work like harder just to, achieve certain goals that you may have. That's completely fine. But if it's at the expense of like completely like cutting the bridge and burning the bridge of all your relationships, then oftentimes it's probably not going to bring like long-term happiness. So this is truly just a message to my younger self, and whenever I do think that I just need to go all in and sacrifice my relationships, because I've definitely had those thoughts at certain times. So yeah, that's kind of just a message to my younger self, but also future self when I have these concerns. So yeah, hope hope you're able to prioritize that.